Good evening, everyone. Chief Meteorologist James Zahara here in the Storm Track 8 Weather Center. Once again, glad you can join us here on the News 8 Plus app. We're going to give you kind of a detailed look at what to expect as we go through the rest of the work week and, of course, more importantly, that upcoming weekend. And of course, we'll be talking about not just one, but two weather systems that are still on track to give us some rain, even another one that may give us some very light snowfall. But the good news is, looks like when it comes to anything traffic related, or driving related, at least the roadways, I think overall are going to be looking pretty good because of this mild weather that we've been seeing across the area. Let's get right to those temperatures, in fact, and they're not too bad across the area. With dizzy numbers, like I said, climbing the 40s, 50s, even places like around Burlington and Keokuk, right there in the bottom of your screen, actually at daytime highs 60 or better. So a little early preview to spring, that was for sure, given those numbers. And we don't expect those temperatures to fall too much. Skies are nice and clear, but we do expect to see those clouds returning in our forecast as early as late tonight. And it's going to be coming from those two weather systems that we continue to track just off to the west. The one around Southern California, that's the one that's going to plow all that moisture across our area come tomorrow from southwest to northeast. It's also going to keep our temperatures mild, at least for one more day. And then waiting in the wings after a quiet Friday, that weather system, the weaker of the two, will bring us kind of a start of a rain-snow mix and then likely change over to some light snow. Could produce some light snowfall for a small part of the area as we get into Saturday morning as well. So let's put our future track into motion and showing the clouds increasing well after midnight, but all is dry. It's just going to stay pretty mild. I mean, keep in mind the normal high for this time of year is 32 degrees. So we're going to even be well above that for overnight lows with mid to upper 30s, mainly along Highway 30 and points northward. And then along the corridor, I-80 corridor and points southward, you're talking about temperatures for overnight lows right around 40 degrees. Now come tomorrow, well, that's where things are going to get pretty wet. There's our future track. Check out the time in the upper right-hand corner. That's about 10:30. So we'll start seeing the first of those raindrops coming in by mid-late morning, become a bit more widespread by midday, and especially going into the mid and late afternoon hours. And as you can see, with the color coded that we have there, that some of that rain could come down pretty heavy at times. But what's also keep in mind too is the fact that the dynamics actually may be just right, that we could get a rumble of thunder or two from this cluster that we see here by around mid or late afternoon. Just keep that in mind. After that, coverage becomes very widely scattered, and then the last of those raindrops should be coming to an end sometime later on tomorrow evening. And because of this moisture coming out of the south and west, we could get still some pretty good rainfall out of this. Most of us will be seeing on average about a half an inch of rain, but those little slithers that you see of yellow and orange, that's indicating maybe in some isolated areas, maybe close to an inch. Fortunately, that all will be able to sink into that ground. The ground's not frozen, so always good news for farmers heading into the growing season. And once again, with this activity coming in from the southwest, it's also going to carry with it one more nice, very mild day with 40s and 50s, maybe even around 60 degrees like around Peoria and Macomb for daytime highs. Now, weather system number 2, and we're still tracking that. That still looks like a rain-snow mix early on Saturday morning. As you can see with the different shades of color that we see there, that kind of magenta color. But then the temperatures start getting cold enough aloft down to the surface that we start seeing that change over to some light snow. But that light snow event, that period of light snow, is not going to last too long, maybe about a few hours, and then everything quickly tapers off right around lunchtime as that system moves off to the north and east. Now keep in mind the temperatures have been very mild of late, especially on the pavement, so not expect to see anything accumulate on the pavement. Yes, it will be wet, but mainly on grassy surfaces, elevated areas, that's where the best chance we expect to see. Now this is a little unfortunate and I apologize everyone, but I was going to show you the snow probability for 1+ inches of snow. And take my word for it, it was actually showing areas from, I would say, Highway 20 and northward, at least seeing a chance of maybe at least an inch of snow. Otherwise, the farther south as you go, that's where we're not going to expect much at all. Maybe under an inch, but mainly on grassy surfaces. At least we expect to see those temperatures remain pretty cool. On Saturday, about 36, 29 on Sunday. That will be your coolest going into the weekend. And then we see that upswing in numbers going into Monday and Tuesday with mid-40s. Some snow showers, at least a small chance of that, comes in on Wednesday. And that may be the system that's going to help pull down some pretty cold air. Going into the weekend, especially that following weekend with highs in the 20s, and that may be very common with mid-20s, certainly in the days to follow as well. So that's kind of the latest that we see here when it comes to those two weather systems that will be rolling on in. Of course, the track is always going to be the key, the amount of moisture that's going to be available, and more importantly, the amount of cold, especially with that second system, could tweak a little bit here and there, so that could change amounts across our area as well. But of course, we'll let you know right here on News 8. Have a great evening, everyone, and thanks for watching.